而目前裴洛西正在总统府进行国际记者会，把现场交给我们的口译执勤。
不错，现在裴洛西已经在总统府内举行国际记者会，来听他现场的最新发言。目前裴洛西正在一一介绍这一次访团的成员，当中也包含了众议院的外交委员会主席郑敏克斯。
Armed Services Committee, Mr. Kim. I say that because when I speak, my receiving your kind words as well as this invitation is really received and appreciated by members of Congress. On both sides of the aisle, on both sides of the Capitol.
裴洛西就强调，这一次他要特别介绍每一个访团的成员，就是因为他这一次来到这里接受台湾的欢迎，不只代表个人，也代表美国参众两院还有两党对于台湾的友谊之间伙伴关系。
Between our two countries, advancing our shared interests of governance, economy, and security, while respecting the One China policy. Our solidarity with you is more important than ever as you defend Taiwan and your freedom.
裴洛西又强调说，依照这台湾关系法，还有这美国的一中政策原则之下，要维护的就是台湾的开放还有自由。
Combating, well, I'll get around to comment. 3 areas that I just mentioned: security, economy, governance. Security, our relationship is a strong one, and we discussed how we can make it stronger and more and up to date. An economy, we talked about a trade agreement that might be possible and soon.
裴洛西就强调了今天的重点，除了安全之外，经济也是重要的要点之一，并且也赞美台湾的自由民主。
Probably one of the highest rates of vaccination, but also the lowest number of deaths from COVID. A real model for the world.
裴洛西赞美台湾是世界的典范，无论是在防疫或是在经济层面，都让世界是刮目相看。
Leadership, so thank you for that lesson to all of us. And so as we deal with those 3 areas, we come here following the president's lead on the Indo-Pacific economic framework. That's interesting. We support that.
裴洛西表示，这一次的访问呢，其实也是依照拜登总统在自由开放印太地区，无论是在经济或是安全层面的架构之下来进行访问。
Build a different set with the economic package, with our security package, and a trade agreement, hopefully, that is imminent. So this is a very important time for us because we came here to listen and to learn about how we can do this more effectively, really achieving the goals. 裴
洛西强调，这一趟行程其实是来倾听台湾的声音，了解到要怎样来更有效率的达到现在美国想要达成的这样子的共同的伙伴目标。
So again, it's a great pride for us today. The first woman speaker in the House. Meeting the first woman president of Taiwan.
裴洛西表示很荣幸，今天身为美国第一位女性的众议院议长，来见到台湾第一位的女性总统。
Sandra Kirk, and I'm proud of my colleague Susan Delbene. So they took a moment to take some pride in women's leadership. Again, our delegation came here to send an unequivocal message. America stands with Taiwan.
裴洛西强调说，再次重申美国与台湾同在，也刚才点名了是 AIT 的处长孙小雅。那么现在在现场这一场国际记者会，其实主持的人就是由我国外交部的发言人欧藏安亲自主持，而且是由裴洛西还有蔡英文总统两人共同来发表简短的谈话，并且接受全球国际媒体的提问了。
President Tsai, Madam Speaker, I'm Joe from the Central News Agency. I'm representing.
目前是台湾的媒体提问代表，由中央社的记者进行提问。
So the question will be a little bit long, so please bear with me.
这一题会综合了所有台湾媒体的提问，所以提问会比较长一点。
So you're the first House Speaker to visit Taiwan in 25 years. So do you foresee that your visit will bring up even more similar high senior official.
您是否预见在您访问台湾之后，会带来更多由美国的高阶官员一样来访问台湾呢？
And the second part is, in accordance with Taiwan Travel Act, high-level visit a two-way thing. So a lot of U.S. congressmen
第二个提问是有关于台湾旅行法之下。
to speak at U.S. Congress, if possible. Do you see that it could realize anytime soon in the near future?
媒体就询问美国众议院议长裴洛西有没有计划邀请在议会的同仁来邀请蔡总统访问到美国，在国会发表演说。
The final question is, how do you see how the Chinese welcome you with military exercise and sanctions?
第三个问题是要提问裴洛西说要如何看待中国以特殊的方式，透过制裁、透过军事方式来回应他这一次的访问。
And to say that in terms of our visit here, and would that lead to other visits? I certainly hope so. But I think it's important to note
他表示，他确实希望有更多的美国高阶官员来访问台湾。
made trips just earlier this year. 5 senators, bipartisan, came again.
裴洛西点名了，今年其实从年初开始就有2党的议员纷纷来到台湾进行访问。
Individual senators have made trips or plan to make trips, and I just hope that it's really clear that while China has stood in the way of Taiwan participating and going to certain meetings, that they understand that they will not stand in the way of people coming to Taiwan. It's a show of friendship, of support, but also a source of learning about how we can work together better in collaboration.
裴洛西表示，中国是持续在阻挡台湾跟美国或是其他官员进行往来。
They made a big fuss because I'm speaker, I guess. I don't know if that was a reason or an excuse, because they didn't say anything when the men came.
裴洛西表示，不知道中国是不是因为他身为议长这样子高阶的身份，才会做出这样的回应。
The second part was.
裴洛西在确认第二个方面的问题，刚才台湾媒体询问的是说，是不是有考虑要邀请蔡英文在美国国会进行演说？
I'll go there. Okay, that was the third part I thought. We haven't had a joint session in probably 3 years in Congress, partially because of COVID, but even before that it was Christmas and all that. So we haven't had many joint sessions, but we have tried to accommodate visits. By bringing together, both sides of the aisle and both sides of the Capitol, and I would hope that that opportunity would be there.
裴洛西表示，希望有机会可以进行这样的事情，但是近几年来因为疫情的关系，还是没有办法及时的完成这样子的联合2党之间的讨论。
Because you have the space and you have the time and well, you know. Here we are.
他说：“你知我知，这实际上可能都有更多需要讨论空间。”
I think that whatever China was going to do, they will do in their own good time. What excuse they may use to do it is another thing. But you really know more about that than I do. I do think that it's really important for the message to be clear that in the Congress, House and Senate, Democrats and Republicans are committed to the security of Taiwan.
裴洛西再次重申，美国无论是在跟着这个民主党或共和党，都是重申美国对台湾的承诺，以及美国与台湾之间共享的自由民主价值。
And whether it's certain insecurities on the part of the president of China as to his own political situation that he's rattling a saber, I don't know.
裴洛西表示，猜测说，习近平自己在国内也有另外的政治处境要面对了。
The successes of Taiwan, we work together for the security of Taiwan, and we just take great lessons from the democracy in Taiwan.
裴洛西表示是没有正面回应，但是表示会持续来学习台湾的这民主典范关系。接下来是有另外一位，这是疑似是台北时报的记者要进行提问。
Madam Speaker, we have seen the Chinese authorities take multiple economic actions against individual Taiwanese companies.
我们看见中国是实行了各种的经济行动，要来回应这一次的访问。
For your visit, and is likely to continue to do so over the coming days and weeks. What
这样的
concrete
威胁也可能在未来几天继续
benefits
上
do
演。
you promise Taiwan to offset the cost of your trip?
您要如何在离开之后，在未来继续对台湾承诺呢？
Of our common interest economically, we just passed the Chips and Science Act.
我们才通过这有关晶片的相关法案。
To again have good, better economic exchanges. I know that some Taiwan businesses, significant ones, are already planning to invest.
美方也持续来推动更好的这经济的往来的这政策了。
And the ingenuity, the entrepreneurial spirit, the brain power, whatever, the intellectual resource that exists in Taiwan, and the success of the tech industry here.
台湾的既有非常多的创新的精神，也有很重要的这智慧方面这样子的财产。
It's really a model, and again, we want to increase our relationship. So I think that I would be saying that would be a goal we share, but with the CHIPS Act, we're really facilitating reaching that goal. And it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting, and I think that you will see a.
裴洛西是强调了回应这个经济方面，因中国制裁，美方最近已经通过晶片法案，接下来也会持续在经济上来支持台湾。
That's why our bill is called CHIPS and Science.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Right now, last but not the least, we will have a representative from the Japanese media, Mr. Ishido Koichiro-san. He is the bureau chief of Asahi Shimbun of Japan.
Hello.
你好，总统。
Konnichiwa.
Hello, Speaker Pelosi. Konnichiwa. Thank you very much for taking my questions. My question is about the Chinese democracy. Now we are witnessing the Chinese authorities increasing various pressures, not only to Taiwanese people and Hong Kongese.
不只针对台湾，中国也威胁到香港人。
I mean the Chinese people. And as a strong and long-time advocate of democracy, please let us share your ideas. How the democratic countries, including South Korea, Japan, where you are heading to, can deter China from invading Taiwan militarily.
日本媒体提问：接下来无论是南韩或是日本，要如何因应中国在民主方面的威胁
？Political system. Thank you.
Well, two things. In the context, your question comes in the context of right now a
您的问题是在中国现在造成的在亚太区域的一个挣扎的情境之下进行提问。
Away from that, and so as China goes and uses its soft power, money and whatever, into many countries in order to get their support at the UN and other bodies, we have to recognize if that has some effectiveness, because it's a lot of money and it's promises that may or may not ever be kept. So when we talk about Taiwan in that context, we have to talk from strength. We have to talk from strength.
当提到台湾的时候，要强调的是台湾的坚韧以及韧性。
So good about is being technologically advanced, whether it's in business.
台湾在经济上已经很有所成就了。
And we have to show.
我们必须要展现出。
And that's one of the purposes of our trip, to show the world the success of the people of Taiwan.
必须要向世界展现台湾人民的成功典范。
Change their own country to become more democratic. To become more democratic, their respect for people and the rest, and quite frankly, a model in this region.
台湾要向世界展现是如何一个国家的政府来尊重自己的人民，来让这个国家一起变得更加民主。
And again, the demonstration of a democracy that has evolved to a stronger place now.
因此，台湾对于民主的展现不只针对中国，其实也针对全世界，而且要进行进一步的持续升级。
No more evidence needed than what happened in Hong Kong under
没有更多证据会比香港过去发生的事情还要可以来证明中国对于民主的威胁。不过今天来到台湾的目的不是来谈论中国的问题，而是要来谈论有关台湾跟美国之间台美的关系。
So we're supporters of the status quo and the rest. We don't want anything to happen.
我们希望可以维持现状，不希望台湾遭遇任何的情况。
And one of the biggest sources of strength is democracy.
台湾最坚韧的实力就是民主。
In our earliest days of our founding of our country, Benjamin Franklin presidency said, "Freedom."
如同富兰克林所言。
Freedom and democracy on one thing.
自由以及民主价值非常重要。
If we can't have either. If we don't have both.
我们如果不能有其中一项，就不能有两者共行。所以民主以及自由两者要进行，两者都要来共存了。
And governance, they're all related, and we want Taiwan to always have freedom with security. And we're not backing away from that. Okay?
裴洛西在回应着日本媒体的提问的时候，有关于民主政体的问题，就盛赞台湾是有很强烈在民主方面是非常坚韧，也是全世界的典范，更是中国的典范了。但是裴洛西议长呢，其实就强调，今天他此行来到台湾，重点在台美关系，而不是要谈论中国的问题。不过裴洛西也顺便就提到说，其实过去在香港方面。台湾跟着这个中国北京政府的行动是没有，其实是行动是比言论更加是可以证明，就是在威胁民主了。
Welcome Speaker Pelosi in her trip, and your friendship means a lot to us. Thank you so much for being here in Taiwan.
稍早现在是这个总统蔡英文跟裴洛西进行击肘，而且两个人都是把口罩戴好好的。而记者会也稍微画下了句点。今天这一场记者会就是由外交部的发言人欧江安亲自来主持。而稍早其实在蔡英文简短发表这个谈话之后，就是由裴洛西分别接受台湾、还有美国、还有日本的媒体进行评问。评问当中也包含到会不会邀请蔡总统来访问美国国会呢？这部分裴洛西没有正面回应，但是强调说，其实今年以来已经有很多的国会互访行动了。而稍早这个裴洛西也是在台湾的民主典范，其实是对全世界做了一个很好的示范。一个政府要如何尊重自己的人民，让整个国家一同变得更加民主。以上是来自总统府最新记者会的情形。时间交给台北棚内。